All right, today we're gonna be reacting to Andrew Wilson laughed at her for thinking she's a wife. Let's jump in. Let's see what's going on.
What do you rate yourself on the wife scale? 1 out of
Wait,
1 to 10.
what is a wife scale?
Like, are you wife
Are you wifey
material?
material?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
That's what he wants. So we'll go around the table really quick on this. Go ahead.
Wife scale, yes, absolutely. I have full capabilities of becoming a wife.
So
Capabilities. Capabilities.
I mean, you are a. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are a sex worker, right?
Yeah.
Currently.
Why would you? Why would you think that you would make a good
Again, we have some of the superheroes jumping in. Superheroes.
wife?
And just because I have a certain profession does not take away from my ability to care, love, and provide something that my partner is seeking. So, I mean,
The science would disagree. Have you ever heard of a phenomenon called pair bonding?
no, tell me.
Ha!
Are you aware that the less sexual partners a woman has, the easier it is, and the more likely it is that she can pair bond with her first sexual partner?
Okay, but that doesn't mean that I can't bond with my person now.
Well, it's true. You could be the exception to the rule, but wouldn't it throw up a red flag if it was known that the more sexual partners a woman had, the less likely it would be that
I think
that
it
she
all
would
de-
actually be able to bond with you? For instance, the more men you sleep with, the more likely you are to be divorced. For instance, the more men you sleep with, the more likely you are to step out of a long-term relationship. All of those things are true, and that's probably due to this pair bonding thing. So why would a man want to trust a sex worker to be a wife?
Maybe he has also been a part of the industry and understands. And also, there are men who
That's literally less than 1%. Literally. I would say 1 in a million. That is so uncommon. And regarding the scale, the 1 to 10, right? Feminine, fit, friendly, feminine, no, fit, feminine, and friendly, 3Fs. It will get you at least the attention. Outside of that, can you cook? Can you clean? Can you do the laundry? Can you keep the apartment house? Because all those things, as a man, you're supposed to be doing already. She's basically trying to help you out and take some of that work out of your daily duties. As a man, you already can cook, you can clean, you can do the laundry for yourself, but at least those categories can get you in the door. Also, the more partner you are with, the less likely you're gonna have you're gonna be attached to that person. The pair bonding. Good point.
make allowances or grace for women and their past. There are men out there, and it's not a subpar choice. It is just a personal choice. And as far as pair bonding goes, I believe that it is up to the woman and her own intuition and her own body and her own ability to connect with oneself when it comes to connecting with another
prattling
partner.
a lot.
You have to know yourself. You have to know deep down. Like, you can get all scientifical, you can bring me statistics, but all it boils down to is the woman's
Experience.
self-awareness and
you say
the connection that she
scientifical?
has with herself. I don't care. Don't grammar police me. I'm just making a point here.
You can know yourself.
Well, I was just curious. As we get
Scientifical.
into more of the scientifical data here, if we can
I'm
maybe back up just a little bit.
Okay, yes.
And we can look at this objectively. If your son came to you and said, "Mom, I'm going to marry a sex worker," what would your advice to him be? Follow your dreams, my son?
My advice to my son, if he wanted to pursue a sex worker, was, does she have an exit plan? What is y'all's long-term goals? Do you support this? And if not, what is that trajectory going to look like? It's all
Wow,
circumstantial.
that's literally mean nothing. All so subjective. She answered the question and ended up not answering the question. She's literally said nothing.
And there's no just like copy and paste answer to this. It's about what one another's motives are. And if it's not a good fit, then it's not a good fit.
It is
And
not
it's
a good
not
fit.
going to be beneficial or healthy for everyone.
Now, let's say he came home with Betty Sue, and he loved Betty Sue, and Betty Sue had no sexual partners, and she was just head over heels for him, and so was a sex worker at the same time. And their prospects looked about the same to you. Which one would you recommend your boy go with?
Whatever he feels, or
Oh, yeah,
whichever.
no, what would
Worst
you
advice
recommend?
ever.
Not
Me
what- you know what you-
personally,
I
I
know,
would
we already
wanna-
know his feelings. He can't decide. Mom, what should I do, Mom?
Okay.
Should I go with the prostitute or with Betty Sue? Which one would you tell him?
I would look at either girls and
And this is what they talk about when they talk about personification or personalizing their own self with the arguments. She's literally she's taking this too personal. Of course, we all know, everybody in the room know that you should advise your son with the one that's not a sex worker. However, because this is her, she cannot advise her own son to be better in decision making. She can't. But she's not making good decisions, of course. But this is what happened. I remember Kevin Samuels talking about this, how mothers will destroy their own son, their own daughters, just to be sure they are not ahead of them. And this is where they transform themselves into, son wife or daughter's wife and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. Son husband and and daughter wife. They take all their kids' attention with bad decisions, and at the end they end up like her.
ambition and what they want to do with their life, because Betty Sue can be a leech, and that prostitute
Yeah,
or whoever it is
Make no
can
sense.
be
They both want to be
self-sufficient and want to add
veterinarians.
value.
They both
So
want to be
whoever's going
veterinarians, and they both
add
have about the
value.
same IQ, and they both have about the same resources to go to veterinarian school. If you had to choose, which one would you tell your
She
boy
knows
he
what it
should
is.
go with?
You know the
Whoever's
answer.
going to add the most value to his life. And if this prostitute or whoever it is can give him more life advice or more knowledge that's going to help him in the long term,
Which is very unattractive for a man, and she will not have respect for the man if she's giving advice to a man constantly. That means that she will, in the long run, will not respect the guy.
then so be it.
And which one would you just intuitively say, without looking at any scientific data at all, if your boy asked you, which one do
Scientifical.
you think will be more loyal to me? Which one would you think you would tell him would be more loyal? Was more
Come on, you know
likely
the
to be
answer.
more loyal to him?
About their own personal choice to commit.
Oh my
So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I mean, you can
Let's-
look at someone's past
let's
behavior.
hear that again.
You can look at all.
Let's hear that again.
So yeah, I mean, it's all about their own personal choice to commit. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, you can look at someone's past behavior. You can look at
Yeah,
all
look, even
of
the
that,
females, they
but
can
it's
tell,
about the
like, man, this
commitment
is
and the now
BS.
and the choice that they're making. So Betty Sue may have not been with anyone else, and that might motivate her to pursue other options, as opposed to this prostitute who has been with several.
Of course, she's not gonna say she's not gonna say one option, right? Because if she say Betty Sue, she had to admit that her life choices are wrong. If you say the prostitute, that means that choosing the prostitute will be a bad choice, but she identified with that option. That's what it is,
Well,
folks.
people and knows what else is out there, knows that my son is a good man.
What are
And that she is winning the lottery because she has experienced
Oh.
all of these others.
But sexual experience means nothing in the dating world, because if your son, hypothetical son, is going into a relationship with a sex worker, which both of you are,
The Bronasons, purple jacket 3, not a B4, not a wife.
Yo, this guy's gunning for me.
man.
Oh,
This guy is gunning for me,
we
bro.
have one more coming through, and then Morgan will finish with her question there. Thank you, KDF. Thank you, the Renaissance. I don't even know what I was talking about before. So women will it's just funny with that, they'll give the sexual benefit to these you'll say they're fuckboys, they
Yeah.
were jerks, assholes, not
The 1%.
deserving of it. And then the guy who is actually deserving of it, he's the good guy, whatever. He's the one who gets to wait. Men are waking up to this and seeing that's kind of a raw deal.
Yeah,
And-
that's dangerous, folks. I don't think the modern witches understand what this is all about. I don't think they understand what's gonna happen at the end. I don't even have, because there's a lot of resentment. You have to understand there's a lot of resentment. Men, they're going their own way. They're doing passport stuff, going outside the Western world to find their own wife. Western women have no idea how bad this is gonna turn out. Even if you tell them, they're not gonna accept it because they cannot see it. Well, it's gonna be bad. I can see people. I can see a lot of countries starting to just repealing a lot of rights right away. Because it's not good, folks. Our birth rate is very low in the Western world. In a lot of countries, we're not even the replacement numbers. We're below that. Korea, Japan, they're suffering that as well already. They're like 20 years ahead on this crisis. So it's gonna be bad, folks.
Yeah.
Can I just make this last point real quick? I'm almost done now.
Okay, and then we'll have
I was just
Morgan.
curious on this. Just back to you real quick. How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
For me?
There we go. She got caught.
Yes, you.
Oh, I mean, I had breakfast.
Okay, I thought you did. Thank you.
Yeah. She got her
Was that a
own.
chat?
Wow.
What was the point of that?
That was a test. That was a test. You see, he asked her, "What do you eat this morning?" And she said, "Yes, I have breakfast."
Question.
Nickelodeon donated 100 to keep the only man in her life to herself.
She would tell me there because her would be this.
As if like the
Okay.
my hypothetical son
Angie,
would
do you
be
want to
the
explain that really quick?
Yeah. So this question, and it's more of a meme. It doesn't really have any scientific foundation at all, but it is kind of funny. If you ask a person what they had for breakfast this morning, you're engaging, or how would they feel if they hadn't had breakfast this morning? What you're doing is you're engaging in a hypothetical, and you're trying to examine what they think they would feel like had they not eaten breakfast. But there's many people who can't engage in hypotheticals, and so they just respond with, "But I did have breakfast this morning." And so that's the point of the question.
Interesting. Morgan, you had a question.
And you
Yeah, and the question is, I think it's, did he ask? Let me see.
Donated $100. She would tell him neither.
Can I just make this last point real quick? I'm
Let me
almost
see.
done.
Let me see what they
Okay,
asked.
and then we'll
I
have
was just
Morgan.
curious,
Yeah, you're
just
good.
curious on this. Just back to you real quick. How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning? How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
How would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning, right? You would say, "Well, I would feel a little bit irritated." Or they say, "Oh no, I ate breakfast." But you notice how long it took for her to answer? That's the point. Because she don't want to answer. She don't want to answer sincerely. So that's the purpose of that test, right? To make sure that the person you're debating can respond sincerely, not disingenuous. And you know that she didn't want to answer it. Funny. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.